Well, it is the 20th anniversary of the so-called peace process. And since the process is sponsored almost exclusively by the United States, we wanted to examine the role that Washington has played, the successive American administrations, from Clinton through Bush to Obama. I think the most important thing that we could do that others haven't done, whether on Al Jazeera or in other TV networks, was to take stock of 20 years. We've taken the long journey from Oslo through France, onto Jerusalem, Ramallah, and onto New York and Washington. We've looked at this with the intellectuals, the academics, the experts, as well as the participants in the peace process. But this show wouldn't have made it what it is if we didn't go to the younger generation of intellectuals and academics. Interestingly, those who have been involved for decades tend to see it as a complicated, controversial, ever more complex puzzle, and hence it needs time and so on and so forth. I think the younger generation of intellectuals, experts, historians, and so on and so forth see it differently. Why is this peace process so important to the United States? Why Washington insists on being the sole sponsor? We look back at how this was conceived, which is a framework agreement reached in Oslo between Palestinians and Israelis. We look at that as the beginning of the imbalance in the negotiations between a weaker party, the Palestinians that are occupied, and the stronger party, Israel, that occupied them. This is the model of the Godfather, if you will, whereby Israel plays the rogue state that basically pushes everyone around, and those who want to be saved from Israel's wrath, its occupation, will look for America's protection in the peace process. The idea now is not so much whether there is an initiative or not. The idea is why there have been countless initiatives, tens of summits, 7 agreements, and yet there is no peace. There's such randomness, or perhaps something more calculating and cynical behind it, and we wanted to look at that, and we wanted to understand it.